Okay, so I did a quick shorts of this review update, and I had to do it like 4 times because it's really hard to try and get everything in a minute or less. And I thought, well, I'm trying to get my YouTube channel kind of back up and going again, so I'm like, okay, let's do a live one and work on the live thing. So it looks like at least I got the proportions in landscape mode this time, unlike the other day. Made sure that was correct. So anyway, I bought this. It's a Skyocean. I don't know if you can see that. A Skyocean 3-port power adapter, splitter, car charger, whatever. There's so many things you use these things for nowadays, so it has a million different names or ways to describe it. Bought it back in June of 21. And let's see if I can get this air to go off. It's kind of probably noisy. So anyway, so I bought this in June of 21, and I got this as a temporary solution for my old Buick Roadmaster wagon because I'm planning on building a custom control box to be able to plug in the dash cam and charge your phone and backup camera and all that other stuff. So I need a lot of ports. So I'm actually going to build something like a custom console. But meanwhile, I was using this for less than a year, and I had the flip out console on there, so it's got little cup holders, and using an old foam filter from Cat's drinking fountain kind of kept it in there real snug, and it worked great, right? So you could plug this in with this. This is why live is weird, because you can't fix all the screw ups and edit. So anyway, so I like this. You can't even see it now, but in the middle here there would be a display when you have it plugged in that would show the voltage for your battery, which is also a nice feature, and a lot of these units have this kind of thing, where you can see if your car battery is draining or something. And then the fact that each one of these would light up when you turned them on, so you could turn the power off individually to each one of these, which in the case of like a backup camera that I have hooked up where it's hot whenever you want, not just reverse, it's nice to be able to turn the screen off so it doesn't just sit there pointlessly being on, wasting electricity and stuff and killing your battery. And then the fact that this had not one, not two, but 3 USB ports where you plug it in. So it had a lot of outlets, which is pretty cool. And a big fancy looking update from a real boring thing that I got at Walmart probably 15 years ago. It's literally just a boring square box. It's a 3-porter, nothing on this. You just plug the boring old cable into the cigarette port. And it did have, I think, I still have it actually. I don't have it here. It's in my car. It has I want to say it's got no, it just has the one light. Yeah, that's right. So it has a light to show when it's powered on. Because a lot of cars, especially a lot of older cars have, I don't even know if it's older cars, but a lot of my cars I've had always seem to have a hot, always on cigarette port. So even if the car is off, locked away, if you have something plugged in, it's still running. So anyway, that thing is still good. And the end of the thing that you plug it in, the plug, you could unscrew the end and take it apart, to make sure you don't lose the parts. There's a little spring in there and a little pin. And there was one of those long cylindrical fuses, and I think I probably have blown it 3 or 4 times. It's like a 1, 2, or 3 amp fuse. I forget what they are. And that's the only thing that would ever happen to that thing. I would just get another fuse, put a new fuse in, it's back up and working. So this thing, one day I come out to go use my car, and I plug stuff in, and it's not working. And come to find out, it's like, okay, the fuse to the cigarette port is blown. So I'm like, all right, well, it's an older car, it happens. So I go and plug another one in. Mind you, this was still plugged into the port. I didn't think about it, the fact that was still plugged in. So I put another one in, immediately blows the fuse again. Actually, you know what? No, I did unplug it at one point. Didn't look at it closely. But yeah, I unplugged it, so I put another fuse in. Was okay. Plug this back in, fuse blows again. So I'm like, what's going on? Is there something wrong with the fuse box or whatever? So I remove that bad fuse, and I start to plug another fuse in, and it starts sparking and shit. Oops, said a bad word. So it starts sparking and stuff, and I'm like, okay, there's something wacky going on here. And then I was like, had a brain fart. I actually pulled this out and look at it up close, and this thing had literally, it melted. It melted here. It shorted out. So basically, I guess it was making contact in a bad way in the cigarette port, causing it to short out the fuse. And it was going to keep doing that until I figured this out. So because of the way it melted, I mean, this should spring in and out. It doesn't even spring in and out like the bottom one does. And it's all like here. You can't even plug it in here. Like this should just go right in. It doesn't even go in. It's so screwed up. And what I wanted to do here on the live thing that I didn't have time for in my little shorts was I wanted to see if I rip this apart or try and take this apart, if indeed there was a fuse right inside here where in other circumstances where it would just maybe blow without catastrophically failing like this one did, that you could just simply switch out the fuse like I can do in my old, boring archaic thing that just works. Okay. So, yeah, see that? I don't think this one was actually serviceable if I remember correctly, because literally the other one, you can actually unscrew it. This one, well, it does have a screw feature there, actually. Let's see. Let's pull out the pin. And nope. That would have been where the fuse would be, right in there, and you would just take all this out and replace the basic old everyday fuse. So they make this so you can't maintain it. So these fancy new things, this was like 18, 20 bucks. Looks really cool, has a lot of neat features, but it didn't even last a year. And this other thing that I've had like 15, 16 years, maybe more, I don't know. I know I've gone through several cars and I still have that thing. And it, replaced the fuse and it works. This doesn't. This is like planned obsolescence, poor quality control. I know originally I did a review on this back, in 21, I guess. And, at the time I thought it was cool. So I was recommending it, even had the little Amazon affiliate link and everything. Can't honestly, recommend it anymore. And I thought I was going to find something out there, but nope. So, how long has this been going? 8 minutes? Yeah, see, I'm rambling on and on about stuff, but I would have had to do a lot of editing to get that down, to get everything in. And even then, probably wouldn't. So this is now finally going in the trash after just sitting on the passenger seat floor of my car, waiting for me to finally get around to doing this update interview, because I just wanted to do that. Now, maybe I just got a bad one. I don't know. But I have a feeling I'm not the only one that had a very short life expectancy experience with these things. So, take it for what you want. Thanks for watching. If you're actually watching, currently nobody's watching because I'm not that popular. All right, guys. Whoever actually ends up watching this later, be kind, rewind, whatever. And, yeah, see you next time.